It's been an honor serving with you, Delta. Hey, all right, yeah, no, all right, cool. This isn't weird at all, right? 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 No? We'll make it. No, wait, hold on. We gotta rasp it up for the Master Chief voice. Ready? Oh. We'll make it. Nope. Still not good enough. We'll make. Nope. Nope. Got a knot in my throat. Can't do Master Chief. Probably can still do Johnson though. Ready? Dear humanity, we regret being alien bastards. We regret coming to Earth, and we most definitely regret the core just blew up our raggedy ass fleet. There you go. I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I'm all right. Wasn't all right for a long time yesterday. Fasting. Whoops. For a brick, he flew pretty good. Just one question. What if you miss? I won't. No. You got a knot in my throat. You really be able to have to hit that Steve Downs really low note for Master Chief. Yeah, anyway. God, I love that series. But we played that song, so that song is one final effort. I thought it was applicable for Delta because L70 is the last time we're going to see the big orange 3-core rocket right there. Launch is currently slated for 2:45 p.m. So in 2 hours and 30 minutes. The rocket garden at KSC needs to have a Delta IV Heavy. Well, there's not enough cores to do that unless you took those ones. Yeah. It's gonna suck. But, you know, I said this on NSF Live last week. Delta walked, so Falcon, Newglands, SLS, yes, SLS, yes, that one too. Starship. It walked so they could run. It's a really good way to say that. If you understand the circumstances for which Delta IV came to be, it's very apparent that, it pushed the bar, Delta IV pushed the bar forward for, rapid launching and high launch cadences. Unfortunately, it never got to do that. But the misses in victory. The misses in you attempted to watch the series. Keyword attempted. It's not. No. Just no. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of watching series, I gotta link a picture up in Discord. Speaking of watching series, have you guys been watching? There's a new series on Netflix that actually Chat is the one that told me to watch it. It's called Three Body Problem. It's actually pretty good. Except at one point in Three Body Problem, they go to Kennedy Space Center. They go to Cape Canaveral. And Thomas, are you here? Thomas, you're here. I took a picture when Brimo and I were watching it on the television. This is a scene. There's no spoilers here. Don't worry. Is it bad? Look around. You tell me. Is that Is that Slick 40's transporter erector?
Discovery,
Between
go at throttle up.
some just arbitrarily placed beams? Okay, so the phone picture here, can we still do the Discord thing where you just, yeah, it doesn't like doing that anymore. Where you have to go up in here and do it this way. There we go. So, just... Hey, Dangerous. 14 months. Just, what is that? What is that? What am I looking at here? What's going on over here? Dude, this reminds me of the Chinese renders of like their rockets going off where they have just arbitrary launch pads. Like what is that? Is that a mobile launcher? Why is the elevator on one side? What? That flame trench, is that supposed to be 39? That's way too skinny. And why does it have sound suppression water lines on both sides that lead to a water tower that's behind the trees? And what the hell is Slick 41's mobile launcher doing there? What is that? There's Slick 40's TE just sitting over there doing in the upright position. What? The more you look, the worse it gets. Yeah, what is happening? I don't understand what's going on in this picture, man. It's so bad. It's so bad, dude. The more you look, the worse it gets. Maroons, I don't understand. Is this a fake photo? Dude. Okay. All right. Have you ever watched Rick and Morty, the old Rick and Morty, where they have the simulation episode? They're stuck in a simulation, in a simulation, in a simulation. And there's like a guy that drives around in a Pop-Tart man that drives around in a toaster oven that lives in a house. You guys remember that one? Anybody? Remember that? The good Rick and Morty. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The simulation one. Remember that? It's that. Ah, here we go. Yeah. Yeah. So for rocket people, this would be like what we saw in that picture would be like you walking down the street and seeing a house look like that. Just what is your garage a toaster oven? And why are you driving around a toaster, Mr. Pop-Tart man? Like, can you imagine just walking down the street and seeing this? That's what this is for people that know about launch pads. It's that. It's that. Yeah, that. Yeah, that. Just walking down the street. Yeah, that's what we see. Why would he drive in something that could kill him? Yeah. Why is their house car shaped? I don't know. What is this from? The launch pad, not the toaster. This is from Three Body Problem. I'm not going to say when and where. They're just at some point during the series, they're at Cape Canaveral. And this is so overtly AI, like, made. Now that I'm really thinking about it, okay. Why is there just a random transformer just sitting in the middle of a field? Is that hooked up to a fuel line? The one in the back. It's hooked up to a fuel line that... Why? At least it's not this. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. What? Is that an Atlas missile and a redstone next to a shuttle? Uh, it's Slick 41's TE's just in the forest out there, along with 39A's water tower with Slick 40's transporter erector between just two steel beams. And I don't even know what that is. That's... What did they do to Slick 41? And why does Slick 41 have 39A's launch? What? Once again, just that. Okay. Anyway, how about we take a look at a real launch pad? Oh yeah, baby. That's a real launch pad right there. So, once again, ULA is on track. Well, not on track. They're a little bit behind. We should be... They're targeting a T0 in about 2 hours and 30 minutes. We'll stop about an hour early. I want to do questions about Delta, personally, and I want to talk about it a little bit. I think it's an amazing rocket. It's really a shame seeing it go out like this. I don't like it, but... It's like I was saying a little bit earlier, you know...
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I'll sack a Delta IV Heavy for New Glenn. It's a way better capability, but it doesn't change the fact that Delta is a very, very good rocket. I think it's an amazing piece of equipment, and I think it never really paid its dues. It never got paid its dues. It did work, but it was never allowed to spread its wings in the way that was originally intended with its engineering. And I wanted to talk about that as we get closer to the launch. Also, the Delta class of rockets, long story short, the Delta class of rockets is based off of the Thor missile. And the Thor and the Delta family of rockets have been active since the early 1960s. So... whenever this Delta IV goes, whenever this the L-70 mission launches, that will be the last Delta rocket, ending a heritage of about 50 years, well, over 50 years now. 70, almost. No, 6. It's closer to 60. But, since my brain is perpetually in 2000, the 1960s will always be 40 years ago. So, yeah, we'll say 40 and call it a day. Tori Bruno liked my reply to your tweet. Really? Oh, cool. It's because you tagged him. I would like that too. Oh, dude, I got... Whoa. Yo. I'm good enough to get spam bots. Dude, that... Oh, man. I will wear this title with pride. I'm not showing that. Oh, that's sick. Dude, I'm big enough of a big deal on X to get spam bots. God. Hey. All right. Yeah. Dude. Freaking mission accomplished, man. Delta 4 in bio. I showed you my transporter erector. Please respond. Yeah, that's funny. That the spam bot thing is funny, but I'm gonna miss that thing. Also, it's been said many times. This is also in a way the end of the Titan rockets legacy as well. Not a lot of people know, that Delta 4 on certain missions, what missions? Don't know. L missions, NROL missions, flies with a Titan 4 derived trisector fairing. So it's actually a fairing that's three plates like this. So it's a trisector fairing, so it opens up like that instead of like a clamshell. That is Titan technology. That when Delta 4 was made, they didn't want to change the fairing. So because the fairing is there for, it's designed for whatever is inside of that thing. Do I know what's inside of that thing? No, it's classified. I could tell you, then I'd have to kill you. The trisector fairing is the same that flew on Titan 4. Oh, thanks, man. Thomas, we got to get you on the back end at NSF for linking pictures, dude. See? That's the same fairing, believe it or not, on a Titan. Yeah. That's a Titan 4. No triangle, right? No triangle up top, so that's Slick 41. SLS is Delta 5. Yep. If you can go back in time to see any launch... Apollo 11, Clayton. It's not even a judgment call, dude. Titan 3E is superior, though. I like Titan Centaur, because how many stages do you want? Yep. Titan Transstage is... okay. Titan Centaur. Titan 3 Centaur is... How far do you want to go into space? Yep. Not Yuri? No. I mean, Yuri would have been great. That's fine. Apollo 11, dude. All right. Guys, you're not thinking about this right. Okay? Why would... like, okay, think about Apollo 11. Think about me. What I do. What I like. Right? Oh, it's a little smoky in there. I started the 59 today. I had the garage door open. Don't worry. It's just still a little smoky in there. Think about that. Think about what I do, right? What I like. Can you imagine the sensory overload that... I've been watching too much Scott. Sensory overload. Can you imagine the sensory overload that would be me with all the cars and a Saturn V launching? I would be just like... People would walk up and be like, "Hey, fella, what's your name?" And I'd be like, okay, so that was 40, Thomas. Yeah, the triangle. Yep. Sean Conray. Yes. Milkstool. Can you explain what launches they used here?
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Yeah, sure. Yo, Varix, what's up, man? Hey, 5 months with the gooch. Oh, 5 months. Hey, that's beautiful 5 months. You beautiful. I do want to take cities for a spin. I'm just not sure when we're going to do it. The way the launches are stacked up today, maybe today, I don't know. But Cuboid put Move It in, and we need to go check that out, I think. Well, you were in the 60s. Don't forget to buy a lot of stock, couple warehouses, and a lot of cars. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what I would do. Yeah, that'd be good. I'd drive them around a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. I would drive them around. Just a smidge. But anyway. So yeah, we're going to start off with workers. Launch for Delta is currently scheduled for 2:45 p.m. So that's in about 2 hours 15. So we'll play workers for a little bit, and then, yeah, I really want to talk more about Delta and the Delta anthology. What launches? Okay. What is this? That's STS-1.
Go and throttle up.
That's STS-1, dude. Yeah, that's the first shuttle mission. Yeah, introduction to MTV in 1981. There was only one shuttle launch. Wait, 1981? Yeah. Only one shuttle launch. Yeah, SDS-1, April 12th, 1981. So this would have been sometime after April. I want my MTV. So that's SDS-1. John Dead Give. So that's definitely Columbia because of the. Well, I know it's Columbia because that was the only orbiter flying in 1981. Ways to tell the strakes. You can't really see, but those are definitely Columbia's wings. Also, it says USA on it, and the American flag. That's it. Later, they put the worm logo on it instead, and flag switched to the starboard side, if I'm remembering correctly. I want my MTV. All right, so that's Apollo 4. That's Apollo 11. This is a bunch of different missions, dude. So that launch is Apollo 4. Apollo 4 was a heavily documented, heavily instrumented mission. Anytime you see picture of the Saturn V stage jettisoning, it's Apollo 4. Anytime you see onboard views from a Saturn V ascent, that's Apollo 4. They put a bunch of cameras on it instead of payload, right, to instrument the launch. So any of this really, really, really nice footage usually is from Apollo 4 or Apollo 6. It's hard to say because of the 4:3 aspect ratio on this. So this wasn't shot in 70 millimeter. It could be 11. It's hard to say. I'd need to see the serial number on the side of the booster. Apollo serialized all their stages just like Falcon does. And if I could get a high-res shot of hold on. Yeah, that's definitely Apollo 4. There usually would be markings like down here somewhere on the skirt of the S2 saying what it is. That was 4 months before I was born, yeah. All right, so that's Apollo 11 right there. This is Neil Armstrong. Actually, yeah, it's definitely 11, but Neil Armstrong took this, and that's Buzz Aldrin stepping off the ladder. This was a good way into the first EVA. You could tell because of the ALSEP experiments, that dish that's set up right there. Some of those experiments are still working, by the way, which is pretty rad. That's Apollo 17. That's Jack Schmitt taking soil samples from 17. In the Apollo program, they ended up putting visors on the A7L. So you have the helmets look like they have a square, like viewing visor, I guess. They put sun shields on them because the sun's a little bright up there. That's Apollo 17. That's a later mission. That mission is also a later mission. They got the shields on, the sun shields on. Yeah, horse blinders. Yeah, I guess you could call them that, Goonie. You did call it. It was bad ignition coils on my car. Yeah, Clayton, I know. Dude, I don't know. What do I know? I'm just the freaking Twitch streamer. Bro. Hey, B0. Thanks, man. So this, I think, is Apollo 15. I remember this picture of them holding out the American flag. And it's funny because the rotoscoping and compositing at the time is butthole. So their superimposed MTV logo, they superimposed it over the stripes and it made the stripes look washed out, which is pretty funny. Yeah, see what I'm talking about? That's Apollo 16. This picture was taken by Charlie Duke. I shook the guy's hand that took this picture. That's John Young. That's John Young snapping a salute on the moon. Jumping and saluting. That's Apollo 16. Dead giveaway, if I didn't know the picture, would be that it's either 15, 16, or 17 because of the rover. Yeah. Not a lot of people know that 15, 16, and 17 were absolutely nuts missions. Like, these missions were crazy. They make the IM-1 mission look like Alan Shepard's first flight. Guys, John Young and Charlie Duke spent 3 days on the surface. Same with Jack Schmidt, Harrison Schmidt, and Gene Cernan. They spent 3 days down there. I played KSP with a guy that took this picture. Yeah, that's right. Wasn't it Apollo 11 that Neil Armstrong accidentally ripped off the ignition switch on the lunar module and they had to get creative to get the engine to light? Not to my knowledge, but maybe. I don't remember that. Yeah, so that's definitely Apollo 16. I know that one for a fact. I don't know what mission that is. That's Apollo 11. Look, no sun shields. That's definitely Apollo 11. Buzz Aldrin took this picture. That's Neil Armstrong after he planted the flag at the very beginning of the EVA. I want my MTV. Is that good enough? Once again, I will say this once, I'll say it again. If you look at some of Apollo 17's EVA pictures, some of the pictures that Harrison Schmidt and Gene Cernan took, these pictures are insane. They will blow your freaking mind. Like, here, I'll show you one. Just one, and then we'll play Workers. No, need the sick guitar solo? I'm not Mark Knopfler. Sorry, man. Can't play like him. We both know we don't want that, Tessa. Here, look. Check out some of these pictures from 17. Absolutely nuts. Just sit and ponder it for a second. What's actually going on in this picture? This Delta IV was the last one, Dave. Just... If you see this high from Playa Linda, no service on the nature preserve. I know all too well, Sawyer. My wife and I are super enjoying For All Mankind. We're on season 3 now. Not a perfect show, but an interesting story. It's orange! It's orange! Yeah, we've only scratched the surface of that thing, dude. We gotta go back. So, another thing that not a lot of people know, that Apollo 17 drove probably a good 5-6 miles away from the LEM on the rover. So... Harrison Schmidt, Gene Cernan drove almost to the point of the LEM being out of sight, like not being able to see it. They drove pretty damn far away. Think about that for a second. Think about just actually how absolutely nuts that is. You landed on a planet, the LEM is your only way home. The LEM doesn't work, that's it. Bye-bye. Check this out. Is that crazy or what? Like, I don't know. I don't entirely know if I would be... Like, I talked to Charlie Duke about this, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. He was on Apollo 16. They didn't go exactly as far as 17, but it was close. I was like, how do you sleep? How did you sleep? You're on the moon. Like, so once again, 15, 16, and 17 were all down there for 3 days. So you got to sleep. I don't know if I would be able to. Can you imagine? And what he told me is that it was very difficult. Like, right? Like, can you imagine having a dream while you're on the moon and then waking up and you're like, where am I'm on the moon. Okay. All right. Sweet. I didn't realize they stitched together so many moonwalks for that. Yeah, there was a bunch. That was a bunch of different missions, John. Yeah, the sleeping situation in the lunar module. I think Navy racks on a naval ship have more space. Right? Can you, think about this for a second? And another thing to consider is that the LEM doesn't have any airlock. So you're sleeping just in a dirty, dirty lunar hut, basically. Like, look at this picture of Harrison Schmidt coming back in from an EVA. There's no airlock on this thing. There's no mass for it. You have to depress the entire thing. Like, you're sleeping in dirt. Like, lunar dirt. And if you inhale that, that's gay. Yeah, you're not... It's like inhaling fiberglass. You're not going to have a good day. I'm telling you, man. 15, 16, and 17 were nuts. Those were insane missions. Like, don't get me wrong. Not to undermine, like, Apollo 8, Apollo 9, 10, and 11. Those are insane missions. But those later lunar missions are nuts. Like, if you go and read about, like, just the mission profile, it's just like, you did what? Okay. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. Didn't they say it stunk too? I mean, Tessa, I would imagine it just smells like a chalkboard. Like, I don't know why, that's what lunar regolith smells like in my mind. Chalk dust. It's pretty crazy, right? Also, it's raining like cats and dogs right now. Just, I'm telling you, man, those missions are insane. I know, and I had the freaking privilege of being able to talk to a guy that went on one of them. And I had so many questions, dude. I was on sensory overload. I'm like, hey, do you do this? How was this? What was this like? And don't get me wrong, like, that interview is somewhere out there. Charlie Duke seemed to have loved everything, because I was, like, super into it, and he was like, oh, finally, someone that doesn't want an autograph. Actually, if I'm remembering right, he asked me, like, later, he's like, you want me to sign something? I'm like, hell no, I don't need your signature. I just got to talk to you. Are you kidding me? I don't want it. No, I don't need that. Well, I got to shake your hand. That's good enough for me. And he started laughing. Oh, boy. And, yeah, it's just nuts, dude. I had the privilege of doing that. Apollo 13, I have to say, that was probably the biggest challenge for NASA. I met Fred Hayes. That same meeting, Clayton. I got to shake Fred Hayes' hand. I asked him, I'm like, you know, what do you do? Your spacecraft just blew up. What did you, Jim Lovell, and Jack Swigert do? And he's like, well, kind of didn't panic, figured out what we needed to fix, and then fixed it. And I'm like, that's it? And he's like, yeah, pretty much. I'm like, huh. I was like, oh, all right. Okay, sweet. Yeah, Chrome, and it's funny because that's what the flight controller said too. I got to talk to Jerry Griffin, Charles Dietrich, Jerry Bostich. Those were the dudes that were like in mission control, like in the Apollo 13 movie. They're the guys, you know in Apollo 13 where Al Harris is on the chalkboard and he's drawing all the stuff and all the guys at the table. I got to talk to all of those guys too. And I was like, okay, I asked them the same question. I'm like, okay, your spacecraft just blew up. What do you do? And they're like, well, we figured out how far the explosion pushed them off course. Did some course corrections, double-checked it on the IBM computer that we had, the primitive computer. We put punch cards into the computer. We checked it. Had them do some course corrections, and then and came up with some life support systems to, make sure they would have enough oxygen. And I'm like, and he goes, I've told this story before on stream, but this was, I think it was Charles Dietrich, right? He looked me right in the eye. Like, this is like some man-to-man stuff. He looked me right in the eye and said, because we weren't losing the crew. That's not happening. And I'm like, whoa. I've never encountered confidence like that until that day. Like, he's like, we weren't losing them. What are you, crazy? No, that's not happening. We weren't losing them. We got them back. Spacecraft blew up? Whatever. It's like super muscular Doge meme. He's like, spacecraft exploded? Ha ha ha! Pathetic! We get spacecraft back now. I'm like, whoa! I was like, I feel like I'm in Highlander right now. Like, yeah, exactly. Helpless. This wasn't arrogant confidence either. It was just like, we were going to get him back. Like, what's the big deal? That was a very, very, very interesting day. I learned a lot. He didn't, Shaw, failure is not an option. He didn't say failure is not an option. It was just overwhelming confidence. Like, It's like when your dad talks to you and he's like, no, son, you're going to do this. And you're like, yes, dad, I'm going to do this. Like, it's like that. I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. How do I acquire confidence like that? Please, confidence. Yeah, how do I do that? I didn't ask him that. I probably should have. Nice try, spacecraft. Ha ha ha. Pathetic. It's like, do or do not. There is no try. And yeah, it's something that I've kind of noticed with engineering, and I didn't realize that it affected me at the time the way that it did, right? Like, everybody gets all nervous about missions, right? I was talking with the NSF boys about this. Like, they get all nervous, and that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting nervous. I don't get nervous from these. I don't get nervous from these missions. Like, even Delta today, not worried about it. I'm worried about the weather. Maybe a sticky valve. I ain't worried about the mission. Yeah, exactly, God. Like, that's what I mean. Arona Space, what's up, man? Like, if you've done your homework, it's gonna work. It's that simple. Like, that's it. Just do your homework. Is that your space program? It's something it didn't really come into perspective, Eukerman, until, I don't know, probably like sometime last year. I'm like, oh, wait, you're telling me if you just cross all your T's and dot all your I's, it'll work? Huh, that's weird. I'm good. There's a Delta 4 launch today. Yeah, hopefully, weather permitting. Seeing the confidence like that was a real eye-opener, Like, even Fred Hayes, he was on it, he was like, yeah, I was a little freaked out, but, we figured it out. It's all good. I'm like, what do you mean it's all good? You were, like, this close from death. You stared into the abyss and yelled at it, and it didn't yell back at you. It was just like, nah, all right, man. All right, we're cool. I'm like, how does one acquire this power? Like it's, yeah. And that's what I've noticed about this stuff, dude. Like, that's what I've noticed about engineering. There's always going to be doubt, and there's always going to be a little bit of an unknown. But, like, you never know if it's going to work for real. Like, there could be a cascading failure that could lead to both your grain silos, burning down, which still paying for that one, right? But, like, if you have confidence in your system, the physics won't lie to you. That's the thing. Like, I see this abstracted in movies all the time, right? Like, whenever there's a high-profile rocket launch in any, like, sci-fi movie or something, they're like, oh my god, it failed. Like, even in, like, if you talk about The Martian, right? The resupply mission failed. Oh no, the resupply mission failed. Like, it failed because because this component that's always worked didn't work. Like, no, there's a reason why it didn't work. There's a very good reason. And I bet you could trace it back to the fault tree. The physics doesn't lie to you. That's the cool thing about it. The laws are inalienable. All right? Like, the laws of physics don't change. Unless we're talking quantum stuff here, but we're not. We're talking about just Newtonian rocket science, right? Math doesn't lie. It will never do that unless you did something wrong. So, if you know and you're confident in it, it's going to work. It's going to work every time. It's just, yeah, it's kind of nuts to have that perspective and see that, Like, once again, L70 today, I ain't worried. And I'm not worried about jinxing it either. It'll work. I know it'll work. Delta's launched over 337 times. It'll work. It'll work just fine. I'm worried about the weather. I don't think the weather's going to hold. Trusting determinism. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Yeah. You see that confidence from ULA. ULA put Vulcan right on the pad on its first try and just sent it, and it worked. Done. Easy peasy. Like, they made it look like it's simple. And that's not a simple thing to do, but I see it from ULA. And you do see it from SpaceX in a little bit, but their iterative design philosophy kind of foreshadows it, I guess. Or not foreshadows it, it kind of overshadows it, right? Like, it seems like, oh, SpaceX is always launching these rockets and they're failing. No. Do you know the stones it takes to put the biggest booster ever devised by man on a pad, 33 engines, sequence the ignition and launch it and have it work on the second try and third try? You know the overwhelming confidence you need to have in your engineering to get something like that to work correctly that quickly? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Super Heavy is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But I mean, Starship, they don't have all the kinks worked out of that just yet. But like, even Super Heavy on the IFT-1, that was a old, outdated design, and they just wanted the flight data. You know, the design had already been updated, and even that one with the hydraulic power unit from the thrust vector controller blowing up and like exploding off the side, it still made it up into space. Well, 41 kilometers. But that's ridiculous. You do see that confidence from SpaceX. That confidence is still around. It's just you don't really see it as much, right? It's kind of in the shadows, I guess, right? But it's still there. It's still there. It's really cool. Confidence has to be well placed. Exactly. There's overconfidence, right? And there's being arrogant about it. And then there's just knowing what it's going to do. And to get to that point, you need to have a lot of perspective. And, well, to be honest with you, you got to fail a lot to get to that point. Yeah, the confidence is assumed nowadays. Yeah, exactly, Cubes. Yeah. That's what, like, that arrogant confidence is kind of like where, like, I shy away from people like that, dude. And incredible that the next IFT mission goal is already re-entry. Elon did update us. And we do have a Falcon 9 launch today, by the way. Yeah, just thought I'd let you know. There's a Starlink going out of Vandenberg. But yeah, we'll talk more about this coming up. Like, but yeah, that confidence is something, and having like actual confidence and faith in what you're doing is something that I've been really trying to learn. I'm like, where do I acquire this power? Well, you acquire this power through a lot of hard work and diligence, you know? And I try to do that with everything that I do nowadays, you know? Like, when we're doing NSF Live, I'm pretty damn confident in what I say. I know what I say on there is going to be right. Because I know the history. I know it's correct. I'm not worried about it. Like, I was talking with Jack and Sawyer about this. Jack's like, I always get butterflies before we do a cast. I'm like, why? Why, dude? You know your stuff. Like, you should be confident in what you do. Like, I don't get butterflies from this at all. And I think Jack was like, well, sorry, EJ. Sorry, I don't have 10 years experience being in front of a camera all day. My bad. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to be a jerk, I swear. It's quite foggy here in Lompoc. Hope the launch goes. Yeah. Jack thought I was giving him crap. I'm like, I'm not giving you crap, dude. You know your stuff. Why are you worried about it? Toxic strimmer, man. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm like, dude, I know what I'm talking about. Like, I know how rocket engines work. Could I build one? Probably not. Should we? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. It would be nice to do a space shot in the future. It'd be nice. You need to learn welding first? Well, I have all the exhaust parts to make the new exhaust for the 97. So we have to, yeah, got to learn how to do that. We'll crack open the welding stream. I'll probably do it when Drummer's here. Drummer's going to be here next week, guys. He's taking a trip to the US, so it'll be nice to have a cameraman. Try and beat Joe on his space shot. I don't think we're beating Joe. I don't think we're going to do that. But maybe in the future. You need scrap steel to practice on. Oh, I got plenty of that. Don't worry. Mike, could you build a rocket? You could build a rocket engine. All you need is a Pringles can, some duct tape, and some Flex Seal, right? Yeah. Sure. Cornet doesn't count. Oof. Oof. No, I have some scrap metal left over from other things, dude. I'm not worried about it. Do walls and workers and resources have wear and tear? Negative. Anyway, let's get the tunage going. We'll play workers for a little bit, and then we're going back to the space stuff. Sorry. All right. So, dude, that migraine got so bad I couldn't think yesterday. It turns out that it seemed like it was a fasting migraine because I ate something and it started to subside. I still do intermittent fasting because sitting in a chair all day is... Yeah. You know, if I eat 3 meals a day, I'd be 300 pounds very, very quickly. That's 150 kilograms for a metric, folks. Yeah, you'd get big really, really fast. So, yeah, that's what that headache was from. I hadn't eaten anything in a little while. Why haven't we cleaned out the debris from the old silo? The debris from here costs money. Don't have money. We'll clean that up when we have cash. Yeah, exactly, Gob. Update on L70. ULA is saying weather is now green. Alright. So, my plan is to just get a chemical factory set up. All this other stuff that you see around it is stuff that is going to be implemented later. We do need to get the warehouse going as well, though. So, let's go into our construction tab. No construction path. I'm thinking. It's too cloudy, I won't be able to see the Delta launch. Yep. We need to get the warehouse. Actually, no. Let's just go minimum viable. We don't have the money to do otherwise. So, we gotta wait until that road gets made, and then we'll start investing in the chemical factory. The chem factory shouldn't be too bad. But other than that, the city's actually doing quite well. Really no complaints here. There's only one spot here that's just a little ways away from the hospital. Might be prudent to go and build one over on this side, but it just hit me. Technically, it's not the final launch of Delta since we still have SLS. You're right. Yeah, SLS is Delta 5. I agree. How much is the drive-through conveyor? That shouldn't be too much. I was thinking maybe it would be better to commission it. You know? Just do it. It's gonna be put into the design anyway. The gravel stuff, I set up the belts and the provisions to have 2 chemical plants ready to go, and both of them feed into the explosives factory. More importantly, they feed into a warehouse, and the cool thing about that warehouse is that I put provisions in for the warehouse to be connected by a train. So, in the future, maybe, you know, we need to ship chemicals somewhere else. Probably a good idea. Chemicals or explosives. We could just move them via train if we need to. Now, something that I didn't get to finishing last night is the oil, how we're going to store oil in here. The chemical factory does need petroleum. Most chemicals do. It really depends on what it is, but the chemicals that are in the game need oil. They need crude. So, the oil terminal, a little mini oil terminal that I wanted to make, I haven't put in just yet. So I think that's what we're gonna work on here. And then it looks like crews are finishing up the water main and sewage lines here. I'm going to also tell them to work on that paved road. I know for a fact that we need that road paved. SLS is Delta 5. Vulcan is Atlas 6. I agree. I think that if... Yeah, we could talk about that more, Hellfish, during, like, in the run-up to Delta 4. I'm going to do, like, a special Space News where we just talk about Delta up until the launch. Yeah, if Delta 3 is a Delta vehicle, Delta 4, SLS is definitely Delta 5. I agree. I very much agree. Per McDonnell Douglas and Boeing's naming convention, SLS is absolutely Delta 5. Next year on NSF and Artemis comes up, do it. Oh yeah, I will. God, yeah, absolutely. Is the explosives things working? Explosives, yeah, they're working okay. Ooh, that truck's seen better days. We absolutely need to get a repair depot up. What is the situation on the loans? 2.8. We're buying it down, but the amount of income that we're generating right now is not enough. We need to generate probably about 30 to 40 G's more per month to be able to A, be profitable, and B, pay off the loan interest. We need a 50G payment every month. And if we go over here, we're at 36. So we're almost there. Like, it's close. We need to make just a little bit more money. I'm hoping the chemical factory will put me over the top. What's your import for last month? It's mostly, believe it or not, mostly chemicals. Last month's import, chemicals was at the top at 12,000. Fuel is right behind it. If we nix the chemicals import, I think we will be okay. The only thing I'm really worried about is that these chemical plants make a lot of hazardous waste. Hazardous waste is trading. I mean, notice that number's negative. That means if it's negative, that if you import it, they'll pay you, and if you export it, you pay them, right? Haz waste is kind of trading a little. It's trading a little bit under chems. It's still enough to be profitable, but I'm also kind of thinking maybe just dump it in a field for a little while and worry about that later. Yeah. Might be a good idea. Dump it in a field. Worry about it later. Just to get some profits up to pay off the loan, and then we can dispose of it later. To be honest, I also have fire prevention from the party headquarters. I have that for reasons, and we have waste processing, so we can eventually take the hazardous materials and, because it's 1969, burn it in an incinerator and sell power. Environment? The hell's that mean? The heck is an aluminum falcon? Looks like we gotta bring more villagers in. I move your whole family. And your neighbors too. Like a good neighbor, Communist Party is there. You work on State Farm now. Huh? That made sense, but it didn't, but it did. No, you don't work for State Farm. You work on State Farm, okay? Differences. And don't get me started on that damn Jake guy. Jake was, he was party leader, but not anymore. Naughty. care about the environment when I'm profitable. Never hits break even. Yes, that is idea. You have been promoted to head of Communist Party planning of party. Good job. Hey, Xanax. Good to see you again, man. How are you? I'm feeling better than I was yesterday, dude. That migraine was nuts. Like, it felt like somebody was putting an axe into my head. Like, not to get graphic, but that's what it felt like. For every ton of chemicals you produce, though, you're producing 15 tons of hazardous waste, I thought. I'm not sure, dude. Yes, exactly, Chrome Viper, yes. Who said it was orange? Harrison Schmidt. It's orange on Apollo 17. I don't think it's... I think... Guys, see right here where it says import and export? That's the size of the containers in the building. I don't think for every 0.78 chemicals we're producing 12 tons of mixed waste. That doesn't sound right, considering 0.78 chemicals is being produced by 700 kilos of gravel, 760 tons of crops, 2,600 gallons of water. Yeah, like that doesn't... Actually, this is all in imperial, those aren't kilos. But, yeah, might as well be. Like, I don't think the amount of resources put in is enough to make any of that. I think that's just the container size. I really wish it would say the byproducts of chemical production, but, whatever. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I don't think... See, Greg, and I think that's a little misleading. Not misleading, I just don't think it tells us. Look at the second line below water. Oh, there it is. Max daily garbage production, 1.34. Garbage production per worker. Yeah. So, for every 0.78 chemicals, it produces 1.34 tons. Are you loan free by now? Oh, not even close. No. We're working towards it, though. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, so I think we're okay for the time being. Oh, Tupolev 154. I think they still use those things. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Oh, son, what do you have some insight for us? As of August 17, there were 44 Tupolev 154s aircraft of all variants in civil government and military service. They still use them. This is coming from someone who often works in a chemical pharma factory. It ain't that much waste. Yep. Son, I can only imagine what the byproducts of a chemical factory is, though. Like, can you imagine, like, a factory that's making, like, methylamine or, like, let's see, what else would there be? Polyethylene? Like, oh, I can only imagine the fun that comes out of that factory's exhaust pipe. I can only imagine that, the fun that comes out of that thing. It's probably bad. Polyethylene is like, it's a petrochemical that's used to make, like, plastic containers and stuff. And methylamine is used for other things. I've seen Breaking Bad. It's used for other things, okay? Don't worry, it flows into nearby river. Yes. Ah, yes. Dude, I hate grass growing in the damn roads. Why, game? Why are you like this? No, no, no. Damn it. Maybe restore soil will fix it? Oh. Hey, Antares. What's up, man? It's done to screw with you in particular. Yep. That tree I placed, for what it's worth. The word sludge is strangely onomatopoeic. Onomatopoeia. I've seen enough American TV shows to know that most Midwestern rivers will give you and your cows... I mean, those rivers that go through the center of the country, Yuki, those are basically highways. These trucks look a little rusty. Yeah, we should probably get the maintenance depot, like, working. I still think we should put the maintenance depot over here in range of the farm, because the farm vehicles getting repaired is important. But over there is also probably useful as well. How's the headache today? It went away. It was a food headache. It was a headache from intermittent fasting, Quagmire. I stopped the stream and I went and ate something and felt better. Yeah. I only eat really one meal a day, dudes. I've been doing that for years. Don't get me wrong, it's not crap. I mix vegetables, you know, rice, stuff like that. Meats. It's not crap, but yeah, sometimes I just, yeah, forget to eat. It is what it is. Like, you know, you sit here doing the stream for like 10 hours a day. That's 10 hours with no meal. Yeah, your body doesn't like that from time to time. Yeah, sometimes I just forget to eat. Oops. It happens from time to time. Not even breakfast? No. Let's get the vehicle repair station going. Why not? And get the road depot going so I can store vehicles in range. Commission those two. We have the cash from... That cash is from refinancing, but this is all stuff that we're eventually going to need. When these vehicles break down, I mean, those vehicles are a lifeline for us right now because of explosives export. Yeah, Roscoe, yeah, you're not wrong. We don't need labor on the stretch of road here. The asphalt paver can do that by itself. Yeah, we got a little bit of a traffic jam because I commissioned a bunch of buildings to be made all at once. Big Dog. Big Dog is ready. This game looks so advanced that it's scared to start playing. Xanax, keep in mind, I'm playing with the difficulty settings all maxed out. So this might not be the best way to... Like, well, not... I was about to say it might not be the best way to introduce you to this game, but no, I disagree, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It doesn't have to be this difficult. But I do make it a point to say that this game with the difficulty settings cranked up is really fun. It is a lot to keep track of though. It might be prudent to put some drainage, put a septic tank here for drainage, or for sewage. Yeah, that's probably something we should do. I'm just trying to see where it would be in range of everything. There we go. Always be switching. That's in range of everything over there, but if we need to expand this way, it's so I don't have to build the pipes to the second sewage treatment plant. I was thinking about putting the drain over here so it gets at everything in this area, but I don't want to put the money in for that and not use it for a little while. So let's tell the construction depots to get at some of these things. Ah, crap. I connected to a bit of road that... You shouldn't connect to a road, connect stuff into a road that's under construction. That was my mistake, because it stops the construction even if equipment is there, and it unassigns it. Frick. Oh, G26. Nice. Nice. Where's the gravel unloading? I haven't made it yet, Misty. StarCraft soundtrack. Yep. The biggest problem of this game is that some systems that will absolutely screw you are hidden away or not explained anywhere in the UI, such as the heating system. Yep. Yeah, you got to think about it, Yuki. I would argue that, you know, I mean, if the difficulty settings were up and it didn't tell you, then I'd believe it, but it just doesn't tell you. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. I actually like that. I designed this yesterday and that's blatantly not going to work. We could shift the entire thing forward, or just make the belts go off the back here. Let's see, can we get at the belts from the back side? place that there. Can we belt in? I'm wondering if it's the wall that's the problem there. Let's get rid of just that section of wall real fast and see if it lets us make it. Nope, it's the road as well. I'm not sure why. This thing is like way high up off the ground. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, well, yeah. Dwarf Fortress. Yep. Alright. Well, the water system can be moved, so I'll remake this. I remade this thing like 30 times yesterday trying to figure out exactly how I wanted it, but I think I got it. But we have to give the conveyor belt some room to be able to... You can't put roads like right next to them, or else, yeah, it won't work. But now, here, let's see. Let's see, can we go into here and connect it? Yeah, see, we can now. That works just fine. So that just tells me that we got to move this a little ways forward. The water pump. That actually works out a lot better. So let me make sure we have space for the belt. I'll put down something that connects it. Just something that's in place and will fit the road in somehow. Sometimes... Oh, there we go. Dude, it let us do it. I can't believe that. Nice. Yeah, Nick. Last Delta. How much DNA do the DCSS, ICPS, and the Exploration Upper Stage share? A lot. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, NSF is tomorrow. They lifted Ship 29. Ship 29's off the deck. Alright, cool. How's the chemical factory going? Good. We almost got water out here. We do have electricity out here, which is good. And that's centrally located for everything. Excellent. So, just so I remember, I'm going to put in provisions here for parking lots. We're not going to make them, but we're going to put in the provisions for them. Well, let's think about this for a second. How much does the chemical factory need? 60 workers. So, yeah, we only really need to build spots for 60. I always like to overestimate because there might be overlaps in shifts. So, let's say 70 spots, just in case. Once again, I want to build for car centricism eventually, but you can't do that like right off the bat. So 2 of those lots would be Goated. That's what we would want. Yes, I said that. I don't know why. That would be the goated. Let's dump that. We'll build 70 is what we were looking at. Well, we might need to cut out a little bit more terrain here for this, but we'll see. Yeah, I've decided frick this hill. We don't need this. That gives me a little more space. So let's go in here. Just plus that in. Now we have space for a parking lot. Once again, am I building for car centricism? I would like to get there eventually, but if we don't end up doing it, parking lots don't cost that much. In whatever. It looks good. Ship 29 was just removed from suborbital pad B. Yeah, I saw him just lift it. So that's 30. That should be enough. Like, I'm wondering if you should overestimate, underestimate, or match. Do we know what changes SpaceX and the FAA have identified as needing to be fixed, or is it mostly just software related? I don't think we know. We have like a comprehensive list, dude. I don't think we have a comprehensive list just yet, drummer. You know what? I don't like big parking lots on that side, and I cannot lie. I don't like big parking lots, and you know what? Whatever. It sounded better in my head. Nice. So that's parking for, so 28 times 4, it's over 100. Okay. So it's 100, that's 112. Yeah, we're good. We have enough parking for pretty much anything at that point. Yeah, see that? And you know what the crazy thing is? People are like, people that don't want to build car-centric at this game, like, oh, it takes up too much space. That doesn't take up a lot of space. Hey, Kira. How are you? How's the factory coming? Good, good. Yep, everything is coming along. Road depot's getting there. Vehicle repair is getting there. Good. I did pack these in pretty freaking... I packed those in pretty tight. Can we fit a parking lot on the other side of the road? Nope. Yeah, Wywalk, I agree. I think having the bus and cars is the right move, personally. Almost done. How's the head today? I'm alright, Creation. I didn't eat anything. It was a migraine headache from not eating. I'm not sure. Like, I mean, sometimes I forget to eat, but I don't think I forgot to eat yesterday or the day before. Which is interesting, because I ate something and I felt a lot better. The migraine, like, I ate something and the migraine went from, like, head-splitting migraine to, like, just a little bit of a headache. You know? It was... like, it went from, like, super really bad to just a headache. Just a regular headache for the rest of the night. I wanted to come back. Brimo was like, no. I'm like, no, I want to go back. I want to play. No. So I didn't. We try to build an airfield at some point? Yes. I got to figure out, like, what the right purpose is for it, though, Violent. But yeah, we will. Tourists can be quite lucrative. Yeah, Nero, I couldn't think yesterday. I was sat here like I was working for it. I was working to try and get the rest of this designed, but I got a good deal of it, and then I went to design the oil, and my brain just said, no, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, brain, I need you to do that right now. We're live, and we still got 5 hours of stream left. And my brain's like, you know what? No. Why don't you ask me later, Crabsy? And I'm like, okay. Shutting down. It's like when Windows forces you to restart your computer. Your brain's like, task failed successfully. I'm like, hey, come back. Where are you going? Dang it. It is now safe to turn off the PC. Yeah, it was not ideal. Would you like to know more? Sorry, that drum drop always. I'm always like, gotta air drum it. Orders, Captain. Coordinates received. Boat. StarCraft. Wolfram. Come on, get this done before we switch to Delta coverage. Let's go. StarCraft 2 is, yeah, really, really fun game to watch. It's really fun to watch. One of my favorites, dude. Wish I had more time to watch it. Nice. You know what? While they're doing that, while they're building out all these buildings, I think I'll go ahead and design the train Y here. So one thing I noticed is that this right of way is it's not on the same grade as the highway. So what we got to do, let me just make a mark in the terrain right here. We'll put a mark with the road so we know. I'm going to get rid of that track, or at least the plan for that track. That track is just going down a grid line, so I know exactly where it is. So what we got to do is we need to build, first of all, we got to build the railroad Y, and then we got to build the road going over it. That's going to be a little bit complicated. Not complicated to do, but building the bridge over it could be a pain in the butt. But, he said but, we'll see. Because we have to build it going over the damn Y. Which is going to suck. Why? I don't know. Alright, get rid of the road for the marker there. And then we got to grade the tracks going upward here. Alright, so I don't think building the Y is going to necessarily be the tough part. Applying... What are you doing? Clavic, you're applying for a vocational program to learn how to weld. Oh, I'll be dipped. You see Derek bought another farm, dude. It's pretty awesome, man. The GI bill gonna pay for it all? Oh, Clavic for you. I was like, Derek, wait, what? For Derek? Wait, I'm confused. No, that's cool. Yeah, I want to get better at welding too, dude. But that's good, man. That's good that you... I mean, yeah. Use a GI Bill. Using a GI Bill for a vocation is basically cheating. You're cheating! No, it's not. But also... Yeah, that's good, man. Good. Like, bro, you beat the game. Good for you. That Ford tractor, yeah, with the PTO, or not the PTO, the 2-speed, the 2-speed, I don't even know what it would be, 2-speed transfer case. All right, now we got to build a bridge over this. So how are we going to do that? You know what? We'll build it up on this side over here. So let's just take a look with the roads. What do we need? I don't think we need a 20-foot clearance here. Oh, wow, it's really... Well, it is a train, so... Yeah. Just place that, and now we gotta raise the terrain up to that height. So, to find the right height here, dudes, what we can do is get this tool. Yeah, see? That elevation change is 24 feet. So we can actually go down a little bit. We don't need it to be that. It needs... The elevation of the highway needs to be like there. And then if we measure here to the Y, 26-foot clearance. That's more than enough for a train. So now, get rid of that. Right? You said it was a 4-speed with high-low, so an 8-speed. Yeah, man. Good stuff. Alright, we're going to need to redo some of this here to go over that Y. We'll pick up the delta coverage, guys. Pick up the delta coverage at the top of the hour. Oh yeah, the right way to do this is to build the roads. Build the center road first. I always leave myself a little bit of a gap from where the road is to where the terrain starts to go down on both sides. I find that makes a nicer looking bridge. There you go. How did you get it the same height on the other side? I took my terrain flattener tool, left clicked here, and then dragged it. Just dragged it over. You can't get height. You can't like get a sample height, dude. So, like, you can't get a sample height like you can in cities. That's one thing I think the city's terrain tools has up on workers and resources. Now what I like to do is use the measuring tool to kind of mark out where the center of the highway is going to end up being. Oh, no. Open that up. Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much, dude. Sometimes it lets you get away with that, with moving the terrain around. I don't want that. I don't want my train tracks to be buried before we even make them. Can you set the height under the bridge? What do you mean, Neuro? Okay. Because of that whole thing, I'm going to slightly change the right-of-way of the highway. I'm just going to, yeah, change that just a smidge. Now you mark that road there, and we know that that is a perfectly straight line. So mark it right here as well. Now you make the bridge. What kind of bridge do we want? Concrete one seems to be the one that would make the most sense here, but that's 300 tons of concrete. But then again, that's also the center bridge, so. Yeah, we have room on either side. Good. Yeah, build 1 or 2 extra lanes of track. I like that, Violent. That's a good idea. Wood and steel, go old school. $279 tons of prefabs on that bridge. I don't mind the prefab bridge. The prefab bridge looks good. The bridge that would most likely be here for this is a concrete bridge, but that's like I said, it's 300 tons of concrete. You know what? We gotta save some cash. Wait, what was that? What's a beam bridge? Whoa. Oh, that's cool. That's like a high elevated road. I'm thinking we'll try prefabs. Prefabs aren't that bad. 538 tons of prefabs from those. Concrete and steel bridge, sad Baltimore noises. Yeah. Yeah, prefab. Whoa, that's strange. It won't let me connect it in the prefab bridge. It won't let me connect it into those interchanges. So here, let's... What the heck? Huh. That's weird. Hold on. It let me connect that thing into the dirt road, but not anything else. How much do prefab panels trade for right now? 42 a pop. How much does concrete trade for? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's way cheaper. Cool. Excelente. The vocational program says they'll help me get a job where I live, and Lockheed is nearby. Aerospace grade welding is... Yeah. Alright, so we're not going to build this. We don't need to build it. There's no reason. That highway goes nowhere right now. There's no reason to make it. So... I'm just gonna mark out. I like marking out and planning the highways, like just like I do in cities. I do the same thing in city skylines. There we go. We're gonna build the train Y before anything, but I needed to make sure the footing and the pilings. Not footings and pilings. The abutments for the bridge are in the right spot. Sorry, bridge engineers. Have you recovered from the double fire? This is part of the recovery, Marco. All right. Chemical factory is up, dudes. Butt mints. All right. Now I'm wondering if we have an extra distro. Nope, we don't. Harvest is starting. All right. Cool. All right, so what does this thing need? And can we provide this with anything? Needs wood. Obviously, oh, we got to do the water. Of course I made it backwards. I hope we have enough space. Research program finished for basic fire protection. Excellent. Okay, so let's commission the sewage. Oh, shoot. We can't fit that in there. There's no way for the paths to get at it. I'll find another way. That was a good thought, but that was the only place where it would get in range of those depots over there. Yeah, no more grain fires. Yeah, exactly. Alright, tell them to make that. And then tell them to make water. The water thing. Are we in range? Yeah, we're in range. Good. So that gets the water under control. They do need gravel. So what I'll do is go to this distro right here. And we plus in this place. Tell them they need gravel, wood, and then we also need crops. So go here, load crops, unload crops at 50% there. I don't think we need to load chemicals into the chemical factory. All right, so we got gravel, wood, crops, power, water. Now we just need oil. I'll go to my fuel depot right here. They have the power to move this stuff. Go here. Maybe we should have a dedicated distro for that, now that I'm thinking about it. That's the fuel for all the trucks. We don't really want to get them hung up with that stuff, because that thing's going to be constantly moving it. JD, it's getting there. Hey, Blackness, what's going on? Everything okay? Yeah, everything's good, guys. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I had a nasty migraine yesterday. Couldn't shake it. I ended up having to go eat and basically resting until this morning. I believe entries at the top of the distribution take priority. Oh. Okay. JD, all right, cool. Good. So, all right, that makes sense. Go here. Drop the oil, 50%. Hey, Upsta, are you okay? Jeez. Hey, Thermo, hi. I see perfect flat terrain for a gravel mine. How do you get stony ground so flat? I just sit here and flatten it. You need a lot of bulldozers to do it, Thermo. Yeah. Make sure you have a lot of bulldozers in range, and you can flatten the gravel. It's not as fast as terrain. See, it'll flatten with a lot of bulldozers. We take load oil at the border? Yeah, pretty much. For right now. All right, guys, it's the top of the hour. We have 45 minutes until Delta goes off. Come on. Stop. We'll stop here. We'll be back to workers a little bit later, but we're going to move over to L70 coverage. The Delta 4 Heavy L70 mission is on Slick 37, and it should Slick 37B, and it should be ready to go. I want to cover this, and I want to make this kind of a whole segment of the stream because this is the last Delta launch if it flies. It's the last Delta 4, which sucks, but yeah, it is what it is. So I'm going to switch this over to science and technology. I'm going to take 5 here, refresh the coffee.